Talk Radio. Across the UK. Late night with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Every man has his techniques, and they're all different.
They said you're not normal, why don't you sing R&B? I said I got no rhythm and I got no blues, I'm as happy as can be. They said how can you not bop to hip-hop? I said I most certainly do. Did you not see me dancing the other night like the girls on Channel U? Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the video, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the video, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock and roll, rock and roll. They say why'd you wear a shirt and tie? Now that's a bit bizarre. I said I like to look good when I go on stage, strumming my guitar. I like to sing my songs about real life things like good times and romance, and I prefer to do it in my skinny jeans and minuscule hot pants.
Every man has his techniques,
cause this baby got no back,
and they're all different.
Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the video, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no cause I prefer rock and roll, rock and roll, rock, rock. Why can't people just let me be? I'm only putting out what comes best to me. Some people get their kicks with other things, but I get mine with wood and string. Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the video, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no cause I prefer rock and roll.
Here we go.
Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the videos, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no cause I prefer rock and roll, rock and roll.
I'm Iain Lee. Who are you, lady?
Katherine Boyle.
We have to be quiet tonight. We have to be quiet tonight. And I'm going to tell you why. Last night's show was feisty. It was angry. It was powerful. It was probably not award-winning. But all of the callers were getting on my tits. And I was screaming in actual physical pain. The people that hadn't listened to my show and were phoning in to talk about another show, people with conspiracy theories, and it hurt. It physically hurt me, Katherine. As you know, I'm a very sensitive soul, and the only way I could, I screamed in pain. I thought nothing of it.
It was a primal scream.
Very primal. Actually, it wasn't. I don't think you understand Janov's work on primal screams and exactly what they're meant to achieve and where they come from. So, nice try, but let me just... I'm keeping a score, by the way, dear listeners, on me and Kath tonight. So, Kath's there, Ian's there. That's 1-0 to me so far. And as you know...
Because...
What? Because what?
Why did I lose a point then?
Because you were wrong about what primal screams are.
It was a yowl of pain coming right from, basically, from your taint.
That's not...
So I thought you can't get much more primal than that.
A primal
it's an animal expression of fury.
You're saying something different now. That's not what you said. You said primal scream. Of course, primal scream is... I said primal screen then. That's 1 to you. Gosh, it's 1-1. A primal screen is those things that ladies get changed behind in old comedies. You know, you see them throw their bras and things over the top. That's a primal scream. Yeah. A primal scream is something very, very specific. And it was developed by, I'm doing inverted commas here, psychologist. I think his name was Arthur Janov. And, of course, John Lennon and Yoko Ono were very, very much into the Primal Screams. And the first solo Lennon album, the Plastic Ono Band record, is basically his Primal Scream album. So you were wrong on that. That's why it was 1-0. Then I said Primal Scream. So it's 1-1. It's a fair system. Because what?
Explain to me again why.
You're really close to making it 2-1 to me. I've explained it perfectly. You said something that was wrong. I corrected you. 1-0.
You screamed like a caveman. Oh, and there's another one. You screamed like a caveman out of fury and frustration.
No.
It was something that went beyond words. How is this? How is this not a primal scream? Explain.
Completely, because you're making me shout as well. I'm going to get another drawing. I'll explain the drawing in a minute. Because
it was a good drawing.
It was a great drawing. I'll retweet it in a minute. Brilliant.
I like how you
because the scream that I made yesterday was out of physical pain. It wasn't a primal scream at all. Okay, so it's 1-1 now because I said primal scream. But we're doing the show, dear listener, from our respective houses, and every now and then I've checked in with my lovely neighbours, Dave and his son Sydney, and just said, hope I didn't disturb you last night. And they've always got back and gone, no, didn't hear a thing. I can't hear a thing. Phew. Well, anyway, this morning I got up. And I looked through the door to see if there's any post, and I could see a little letter in the vestibule. So I opened the door, but there was no letter in the vestibule. It was a drawing. It was a drawing that had been done by Sid, who lives next door. He's a very, very nice young man. I guess he's 18. I don't think he's quite 19 yet. And it was a picture of me. I'm just going to find it so I can retweet it for you. It's a picture of me screaming, and he's written underneath it, "Hang in there, baby. Best of luck from Sid and Dave." I love it. I love it. But I was mortified. I mean, it was, oh my God, they heard it. So then I had to text David and say, thanks for the picture. I thought that they maybe thought I was suicidal or something, that this was all getting, I can't take it anymore. I got the bullets. And so I texted him to say, look, I'm okay. I was just talking to some idiots on the radio show last night. It was part of the show. And he said, no, don't worry. Sid tuned in and listened. He found it really interesting. He found it really interesting? What does that mean?
Interesting.
Does that mean he's doing like a
He hated it. That's what it means.
That's what it means, doesn't it? He hated it. And do you know what? He's probably right, because let's be honest, Catherine, this is rubbish. Last night I was shouting out about Chinese dildos. So tonight, I need to keep it really quiet. I don't want to upset the neighbours. I don't want to disturb them anymore. If they want to do more drawings, that is great, because that drawing is now on my fridge after I disinfected it with pee.
Still, it's good to know if anything heavy ever lands on you and you're trapped under it, you'll get a lot of nice pictures about it rather than help.
I think when they see that there's a backlog of about 25 pictures, they might go, I think something's wrong in there. Maybe we should do something, and then I'd be like one of those rotting corpses. That go, oh, it was sad. We hadn't seen him for over a month, and he had no friends. Dogface Dave is going to get bitches. Did you say?
Pictures.
Pictures of bitches. Okay, I don't know why you're talking about that, but that's absolutely fine. That's the vibe of the show tonight. Hello. I know what's wrong with the show, Catherine. But unfortunately, I've spoken to the management and I can't get you off the show. So the next thing on my list of what's wrong with the show is a complete lack of features. We haven't got any features on this show. As we all know, Dan Wootton has Dolly Parton as a feature on his show, and Mike Graham rips up newspapers on his. So we don't have any features. So I was just thinking, and I've just jotted down 3 features. 0344 499 1000, by the way, dear listener, if you'd like to suggest yours. So these are the 3 features I've got, Katherine. I'd love to get your feedback on them. I'll read them all out, and then we can go through it. So number 1 is Word of the Week. Number 2 is the Listeners League. And number 3, my favourite one, is That's My Car. So those are the 3 features that I have come up with, Kath, and I would love to get your honest, be honest, I can take it, I'm an award winner, I can take it. I would like your honest feedback on those features, please.
I think they all sound great.
Perfect. All right, well then let's implement them tonight. Okay.
I've got some. I thought we could use, the talent that's already available to us,
yes.
and what we already get from the listeners, and kind of siphon it into
a Bill's pump.
So I was thinking, tell me a really long story about a guest we haven't had on the show.
Okay, Cleo, if you're listening, that one's for you.
Guess Who's Dead?
Can you hear me, Katherine? Because I'm going to be honest, I have put out some real zingers. I've put out 3 or 4 really zingy, funny, laugh out loud lines, and I'm being met with silence from you. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Guess Who's Dead?
That's rude.
Also, here's a story about someone you've never met.
Okay. I think Guess Who's Dead, I think at the moment is a little bit unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary because people, I think that's unnecessary. Okay. I think you've misjudged the crowd. You've misjudged the room. Let's park that till, I tell you what, the first day that the world is coronavirus free, my God, we'll be laughing at the dead. But until then, I'd like to maintain a little bit of respect. But the others sound awesome.
Let's do it.
All right, well, we got features, guys. What are your features? And also, I'm going to read mine again. Kath, if you read yours out again, if you want to contribute to these features. By the way, I don't actually, all I've got for my features, Katherine, I should have made this clear at the start. I just have the titles. I don't have any content or concept. Well, I do for That's My Car. That's My Car. This is how I envisioned it in my head, right? Actually, I said it out loud because I'm lonely. I'm a lonely guy, got tears in my lonely eyes. I'm a lonely guy with tears in my lonely eyes. I've done something to that reverb and it's now not really, I want to make that, what I want to do is I want to make that reverb so sweet, it's like I'm in a men's public toilets from the 80s. Not on my knees or anything, but the reverb is so sweet that you'd want to invite the Temptations or someone in to do an Acapulco set in a men's public toilets. In 1987, that's a weird thing. So the 3 features I've got are Word of the Week, Listeners League, and That's My Car. Now, the way That's My Car works is I'm going to say the name of a car, and people will phone up and go, yep, that's my car. So tonight's car is a Volkswagen Polo. Tonight's car is a Volkswagen Polo. If that's your car, give us a call now, 0344 499 1000. All you do is you phone up and you say, yep, that's my car, and then you put the phone down. Katherine, let's have your features again, and then we'll put it out there, and we're really going to start driving this show forward.
Okay, so we've already shelved one, and that's fine. I have no ego when it comes to this. It's all about making the show sound wonderful, right? Okay, yeah. So the ones that remain. Tell me a really long and pointless story about someone you half heard on someone else's show. And tell me a really long and pointless story you don't really know, and I certainly don't know or have any interest in.
Okay, yep.
I think we might get some gold there. We'll certainly get some.
034, we'll get some brown gold. 0344 499 1000. Going to be one hell of a show tonight, dear listener. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain and Kath on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Oh, yes. I forgot what the number was. No, I tell you, I'm going to be honest, Katherine. I was sending a personal and private texticle then. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I'm not ashamed of it. I was sending a personal and private text. But in the spirit of honesty, I'm going to tell you to whom it was. It was to none other than Mr. James Whale. Because it just dawned on me. And I heard the end of James's show, and I just thought James sounded a little bit down. I don't know if he is or not, but I just thought he sounded a bit down. I thought, of course James is on his own now, and you just kind of forget all of these things. So I just sent him a little text as his show ended and our show started, saying, all right, mate, sounded good on the radio. I get to hear like the last half hour of his show. If you ever want to chat, give us a call. And he's just replied saying, yeah, I will do that. Thanks very much. So I was replying to James going, ha ha, I was only joking. Get lost, Grandad. And I think that should no, I didn't. I like James, and of course it's you forget James Whale is 78 years old, dear listener, 78 years old, and he's been working in radio for even longer than that. So we've got to keep our eye on these old buggers. Speaking of old buggers, it's Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, boss.
Hi, Alan.
You alright? I'm feeling a bit.
Well, you're not. What's wrong?
One of my friends has died today.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened?
It was coronavirus.
That's a strange name. I'm joking. What was your friend? Who is your friend? What happened?
His name was Iain, and he was one of my friends from the Old Crown in Woodgate.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. That must. Gosh, well, we've said this. The shadow of this horrendous cloud gets closer and closer to us all, doesn't it? I'm really sorry about that, Alan.
Yeah, because I remember every night we used to go to the pub and we would talk banter about football.
I don't think you need to say talk banter. I think you can either drop the word talk or drop the word banter, and that sentence would still work.
We would have a banter about the football.
There you go. I'm not taking the mick. I'm trying to raise a smile in what are very, very tragic circumstances, Alan, as I'm sure you're aware.
Because he was a Birmingham City fan and I was an Aston Villa fan, and we were with each other about each other's team.
There you go. There you go. Ah, mate, I'm sorry. Stay safe, Alan. Go on.
And I want to contribute to the Listener League.
Okay, I don't quite know how the Listener League is going to work, so but I'm happy. Oh, by the way, Kath, it's I got an extra point because we had to drop one of your topics of it being insensitive. So it's currently 2-1 to me. Thank you, Alan, for keeping tabs there. It's 2-1 to Iain if you're keeping score on tonight's listener fight. How do you think this Listener League should work, Alan?
Well, the minimum you can have for a league is 3 callers. Okay. So they have 1 home and 1 away each.
Yes. Stop sighing, Katherine.
Whoever has the highest total after the games wins.
Well, I don't know. Here's the problem. I don't know what the games are. And just by even saying the word games, it suddenly gets very, very complicated. I just thought we could, write things down.
Or you could put it down to, number of times they called in the month.
Yeah, I don't really want to encourage.
It's not necessarily a good thing, though, is it?
No.
1 call per night, and whoever has the most calls.
I think the Listener League. I think it needs a little bit more work. I think it needs a little bit more work, Alan. But thank you, and I'm really sorry for. Did you say your friend's name was Eamon?
Yeah.
Eamon, well, God bless you, my friend. And Alan, stay safe. Look after your mum and dad. Keep your hands clean. Stay indoors. Stay indoors. Stay indoors. And thanks for sharing that, man. And I'm really sorry. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Listener League sounds good, doesn't it, Katherine? But I just don't know how to make it.
No, it sounds awful.
Whoa! Where did that...
Yeah.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
One, we're judging human beings now, are we? Really? What, out loud?
Okay. Yes.
Well, that's new. 2, I don't want to incentivise them to call.
You don't want to incentivise...
That's like when that old radio station we had incentivised the reporters to get top story, and we used to just get told bullshine.
Okay, it's now 2-all, Katherine. It's 2-all because I've gone deaf in my Well, I've gone deaf in my left ear, and
from shouting.
I think it's from. Hang on a minute. If I do, whoa!
Oh.
Hello. Oh no, I hit my pan. But it's still 2-2, Catherine, because for a moment during that I was deaf in one ear. So 2-2, tight match tonight, guys.
Right.
Put your bets down. Lay your money down. Why is it? Here's a question for you, Catherine. Why is it illegal to gamble, in so many parts of America? I believe the only places you're legally allowed to bet are Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and Des Moines in Illinois.
Yeah.
Why is it illegal everywhere else?
Is it illegal everywhere else? People bet on football and stuff, don't they?
They don't watch football over there, mate. I think you'll find they watch American football, or soccer as we call it. So again, I'll ask the question because it is the premise is based in reality. Why is it illegal to bet in? You've been to New York, right? Haven't you?
Yeah.
How many betting shops did you see?
None.
Thank you. And
Didn't
you've been
look
in
up.
London, right? How many betting shops have you seen?
None.
That's a lie. That is a lie. There's betting shops everywhere. Ipso facto, it is illegal to bet in New York. New York is one of the most liberated towns in the whole of the state. So ipso facto again, double ipso facto, it is illegal to bet everywhere apart from those 3 places I mentioned. Why? 0344 499 1000.
Because of God.
Okay, because of God. That's Catherine. Do we have any answers that are better than because of God? Can we beat because of God from Catherine there? Let's go to Sharon. Good evening, Sharon.
Yeah, 'cause that's my car.
Oh! Bit young to be... They've gone! That's it! Perfect! Oh, Kath, this feature is going to be awesome! This feature is going to be awesome. Tonight's car is a Volkswagen. Well, it did sound very young. Tonight's car is a Volkswagen Polo. A Volkswagen Polo. If you own a Volkswagen Polo, here we go. Would the owner of a Volkswagen Polo please call 0344 499 1000 and say, yep, that's my car, before hanging up. There you go.
It used to be my dad's car.
It used to be my car, but that's not what we're playing. We're not playing yet. That used to be my car. What are we playing, Catherine?
Yep, that's my car. Currently.
You got to be honest. This is the best feature ever.
Okay.
0344 499 1000. I'm clapping. I'm thinking of taking my top off because I put on a long sleeve, thick top today. But actually now I'm quite hot, so I might take my top off and sit here au naturel as when God invented radio broadcasting. He imagined us doing it naked because, of course, Adam and Eve were naked. Now, that sounds sexy, but they were living out in the garden, which is muddy, and Eve wouldn't have been shaving her privates or her legs or her arms, and Adam would certainly not have been shaving his privates. It would have been a lot of hair, and they'd be covered in mud and worms, and when they'd done anything sexual, the first thing you want to do is go and have a shower to cleanse yourself. They didn't know how to do that. They didn't have showers, so it really was very, very stinky. The Garden of Eden and the 2 inhabitants thereof, Adam and Eve, very, very stinky, and it would have been an awful place. I don't know why I'm slagging off the Garden of Eden. It's like I'm doing a TripAdvisor on the Garden of Eden. I tell you where I have been to is it Gethsemane? I think I've been to the Garden of Gethsemane. Is that where Jesus sat down to have a think?
Yeah.
Okay. I say I went to the Garden of Gethsemane. I walked past it and our guide pointed to it and said, that's the Garden of Gethsemane on the other side of that wall. I went...
Where Jesus had a thick, is that what he said?
I didn't. I didn't. I had to look it up afterwards, and it was like, oh, Jesus had a think there. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Well, I've seen where I've seen Jesus's manger.
Oh, right.
And it was
surely
a
it
real.
would fall into bits.
Well, I think it was blessed by his holy umbilical cord. Here's the thing I don't like: the people that say umbilical. Those guys should be shot.
Overly fancy. There's no need.
I think I saw Jesus because I went to Bethlehem, and
You say Bethlehem or Bethlehem?
I said Bethlehem. Don't try and. Oh! Did you just try and get a point off me?
No, just checking, just seeing what's
3-2
going on
to
there.
me. 3-2 to me. 3-2 to me. Bethlehem.
It's Bethlehem.
3-2. Bethlehem.
No, not
It's Bethlehem. It's Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Oh, Catherine, please.
Bethlehem. Bethlehem. No, it's Bethlehem. I've heard the song.
Can I have 2 tickets to Bethlehem, please? Yes, you may. Here you go. Thank you for saying it properly. Most people say Bethlehem. You said it properly. Here, take 5 shekels. That's a recording I made when I was on my way to Bethlehem. That's an actual recording. That wasn't even me, because if I was doing that voice, it would be racially offensive. But it's a recording I made. Okay, it's illegal. I didn't tell the guy I was recording his voice. I was able to find that recording very, very quickly when I needed it just now. But still, the point has been proven. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And I think I saw his manger. You have to go in like... It's amazing how little of this I remember. I remember a man with a machine gun pointed a machine gun at me and my friend Jade, who you met, when we went to see.
Yes.
We were in this building, and it's the rock of it's the rock of something, and and we sat down in the
Temple
room.
of the Rock.
Yeah, that was it. And that's the rock that Muhammad sat on or something, isn't it? A lot of sitting down in these religious stories. That's the rock, I believe, that Muhammad sat down upon. They didn't. Chairs weren't invented until the 1600s. There's a fact for you. What's the phrase everyone says now? Fun fact. Chairs weren't invented until the 1600s. Here's a fun fact. Most fun facts are really unfun.
Old crib.
So a man with a machine gun pointed a machine gun at me, telling me to stand up. I was tired. I was wearing a suit. It was hot. Admittedly, I was sitting on the actual rock, which is probably verboten. But I wasn't. I was just sitting on the floor. You couldn't even touch the rock. Okay, guys? You couldn't even touch the rock. His security was so hot. But I saw the manger. Yeah, there we go. I saw the manger that Jesus was born in. Whatever. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Oh, right. Okay. That's how it's going to be, is it? That's how it's going to be. Let's go through your features, Catherine. What features have you got?
I got, tell me a really long and pointless story about someone you half heard on someone else's show. I mean, they're doing it anyway. Why don't we just tap that? Fine. Content barrel. Or tell me a really long and pointless story about someone you don't really know, and I certainly don't wish to know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you like that
good.
one?
Yeah. I'm just looking through Twitter to see if there's any content that we could use there. Benzo says sandwich hour, AA pub quiz, battle of the eggs, live with Clive, prank calls, get your organ out, Alan Caddick's trunk of spunk. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's that. Let's wait for the calls. Let's wait for the calls to come rolling in. 03
I can't wait.
499 or 1000. Here we go. Yesterday we asked you not to call in. If you remember, that was yesterday's show. Today's show, we are asking you to call in. We've even come up with features for you. So forget yesterday's don't call in. Tonight it is call in. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You rack those calls up, Sam, as they come through. You rack them up.
This is going to be great.
This is it. This is what we're all talking about. We got a call. Let's go to Alistair. Good evening, Alistair.
I got a feature for you, folks.
Okay. Here we go. Now we're flying.
No, it's based on. This is based on my speciality subject, and it is favourite lines from films. So the listener can ring in, and then you and Kath can judge which is the best one.
Okay. I have to ask you some questions. So, okay. Have you stolen this topic from Twitter today?
No.
Really? Because that's one of the things. That's no. Because that's one of the things that's trending today. Is the iconic lines that stay with you long after the movie is over.
Yeah. Well, I'm ahead of the curve from them.
I think you're at the bottom of the curve. You're where the curve. You're where we want to be with coronavirus. You're flatlining.
Oh, well.
You got to laugh. Yeah, but when people say you got to laugh, otherwise you cry, well, that's not strictly true. There are quite a few stages in between those two extremes. There's like sleep, there's sullenness, there's anger, there's speaking. There's loads of different things you could be doing if you're not laughing. So that saying, I think, is misleading, and I'm going to say it's offensive. I'm offended by it. All right, Alistair, where you go?
What, do you want the line, or do you want another?
Whoa! Film. I'm so sorry. It's just the way my brain is programmed. I would love a line from a film, please. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It makes me feel like victory.
Okay, that's Apocalypse Now.
Correct.
Isn't it smells like victory?
It is, actually. Sorry.
Oh!
Oh dear, Alistair, flipping it.
Well done.
I know.
I would suggest if you're going to do a quote from a film, try and actually quote the film, and by that I mean get the words right.
I lost brain cells.
No, brain cells. Alistair, can I ask you a question? I did this week. I've been lucky enough. I did a therapy session yesterday on Skype. And I did a Zoom AA meeting today. And in the meeting today, and I'm breaking no confidences with this, I've heard this from a few different people. People have been saying to me, take that today's meeting out of the equation. People have been saying to me over the past week or so that they're so grateful that this Zoom technology exists and it's really helping, but that they hate the Zoom meetings. And excuse me, I don't hate them. I'm not a massive fan. While they're the only thing going, great. All right, I'll have them. But I'm not a massive fan. And I was talking to my therapist, Chip, who we had on the show, and he said, look, these Skype sessions are great, but they're not the same as a real session, and the meetings are not the same. And the only way I could describe it was the magic isn't there. Do you know what you'll know what I mean by that? The magic isn't. The people are there. The readings are there. But the magic, the magic only happens in a meeting and in a therapy session when you are sat in the same room.
Absolutely, because basically the Zoom meetings are on the screen, and that's how they feel, flat as a pancake. Whereas in the actual rooms, I've can virtually say, with the exception of none, that every physical meeting, after the meeting I've left, feeling uplifted and feeling, inspired, and you just can't get that. But, in the absence of anything else, I suppose, carry on.
Oh, we'll have it. But it just dawned on me the last few days. The magic is not there. There's something not quite right. Alistair, thank you for that. Go on, what are you going to say?
Well, I just wondered, with your therapy sessions, do you feel you're missing something as well? You're one-to-one.
Yeah, massively. Massively. They're great. It's great. And it's, I'm very blessed that I can afford them, and that I can check in, and it really, really helps. But there's something that is that is significantly not the same.
Okay. Well, stay safe, both of you. Bye-bye.
You too, my friend. See you later on, Alistair. Wash your hands, stay indoors. 0344 499 1000. It is a features special tonight on the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Okay, official Craig, I've reported you to Twitter and to the police. That is disgusting. First of all, obviously, it's an elbow. He's playing arse or elbow on Twitter as an elbow. Secondly, that is disgusting. That is just disgusting, and I don't want anything to do with that whatsoever. Let's go to Ollie. Good evening, Ollie.
Oh, hello. Hello,
hello, Ollie. Are you on speakerphone, mate?
No. Should I?
You are on.
Where are you?
I'm in the bath again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
Kath, I don't want to talk to any of the perverts, so you can have this one.
I don't think I can talk to him. That is there. That.
Shit. What? Go back, Charles.
Could you? I don't know. Oh God. Could you put a loofah over it or something?
Okay.
I think he's got a loofah up it.
You cover it with bubbles.
Cover it with 3 bubbles, Ollie.
God.
Okay.
Jeez.
What do you want, Ollie, in your nakedness, weirdo?
I thought I could carry on from Alistair and do a feature.
Okay. Are you going to do the lines from? Are you going to do getting lines slightly wrong from a film, or have you got your own feature?
Brilliant.
Oh, by the way, here we go. This is another thing as well, which we will do all through lockdown, because I've just thought of one. Your highlight of the day, right? Your highlight of the day in lockdown. I've got a great one, Katherine. In my kitchen, the cutlery drawer. Stop pretending you've still got corona, mate. All right, get over it. You do another fake cough, I'm going to... Katherine, my cutlery drawer for about the last 4 or 5 months, it's not had a handle on it, because the handle came off, and you have to open the drawer underneath it.
Open the bottom drawer. Yeah.
Today I was looking at it, and I thought, nah, this is... I don't have to live like this. Life in lockdown doesn't have to be like this. So I did something amazing. We will take line 3, please, Sam. I went round to the other side of the kitchen. My kitchen's an odd little shape, and I took a handle off of a cupboard I've never used. I didn't even know if there was a cupboard there. It's behind the door that goes into the downstairs toilet. There was a cupboard there. I'd never used it. It was empty. I took the handle off and I put it on the cutlery drawer. I can open the cutlery drawer anytime I see fit. Oh, it's the highlight of my day, was moving a knob around.
Wonderful.
What was the highlight of your day, Boyley?
Nice for you. Came back from the supermarket, which was an ordeal, and the girls, my children, were friends. Do you know why? They'd been playing Roblox, and one of my youngest had found a classmate of hers on there, and they'd been playing, and it had all gone pear-shaped, and this classmate had got quite thuggish on there with her, and her older sister, my eldest daughter, stuck up for her, and now they are best buddies.
Which one's Chandler Bing?
What now?
That was a great line. He's in Friends. You said your kids are friends now, and I said, which one's Chandler Bing? That's the name of one of the friends from the television series The Friends. So actually, I made a very funny joke. Is this
so topical?
Is this on, Sam? Can you make sure this is that she can hear me, because I'm sending
it is on,
zingers.
But I think there might be a delay about 2002.
Ollie, what's the highlight of your day been?
Feeling worse than yesterday.
Feeling worse than yesterday. Gosh. Okay. Well, I see you've really got this into the spirit of things. So Ollie's highlight is feeling worse than yesterday. Wowzers. Let's have your Jesus. Let's have your feature, please, Ollie.
Like Alistair said about lines, and I'm really good at Arnie impressions, and I thought we could do our favourite Arnie line.
You're good at Army impressions.
Yeah.
Am I sorry? Am I talking to an 8-year-old? What? I'm good at Army impressions. I don't know what you mean.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Arnie.
Oh, Arnie.
Yeah.
Arnie. I prefer Army impressions. That to me is a phone-in. Phone up with, and we will add that to the list. Give us your Army impressions, please. But you want to do Arnie. Okay.
The sound of a helicopter or something.
Yeah, well, squatter, give me 20, soldier. 20 press-ups, mate. I made myself laugh with that one.
I've got one. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Right, okay, now you're doing Arnie, but you've gone to Arnie impressions, and you've made him as a hot Russian honey trap.
Can I do some of them? I've got loads of them.
Okay, let's do this until we get bored. Okay, thanks for that, Ollie. 0344. No! I'm joking. I could never be that rude. I could, but as I don't have the faders here, it's a little bit tricky. So away you go.
Put that cookie down.
Babcocky down.
Put that cookie down.
Put Babcocky down.
Let us some steam.
Let us do. Hang on. So far, I've had put Babcocky down and let us do steam.
No, it's the line not working because that's perfect, Arnold.
Your lines aren't working. Is the line? Could you understand this, David?
Did somebody say Babcocky?
Put Babcocky down.
Put Babcocky down.
Put Babcocky down.
You say it, David.
Babcocky down.
That's what David says when he's made love to a woman and she wants more, but he just simply can't, and she's holding it, and he goes, "Put Babcocky down," and then he gets married to her.
Never want more.
Nope. Let's have some more lines from Arnold Schwarzenegger, please, Ollie.
Wait a minute. I can think of one.
The fact that you've got to think of them when you phoned up and said you've got loads and you've done 3.
My name is Thomas Aquinas.
Okay, goodbye, Ollie. Goodbye. I should have got rid of that. I mean, I did say I'd get rid of it when I was bored, and I gave him an extra 4.5 minutes after that had been reached. 03444991000. Dredge, stay there. You'll be next. Let's go to David. Put Babcocky down.
Yeah, put Babcocky down.
Okay. Okay. Now it's your turn.
Yeah. Hi, I'm David Babcock, and my
we know who it is. We've said your name about 15 times in the build-up to this phone call.
I'm just trying to be professional for you.
You sound like you're doing. I'll never forget after the tragic events of 9/11. There was it was, I don't know if it was part of the chat, there was a documentary or something about the firefighters, and it was hosted by Robert De Niro, and what that meant was, basically he did the opening link and he did the closing link, and it started off with him going, "Hi, my name is Robert De Niro." I'm thinking, yeah, we know. You're Robert. We all know who you are. You're Robert De Niro. And what it taught me was that even big Hollywood stars, when they want to import I got that wrong, but it still actually makes sense. When they want to import, and by import I mean importance, you can say import and it still means importance. It just confuses it by saying export before it, but that still works. They say their names, and that's what I felt you were doing, David.
No, I was just trying to be professional.
Okay, I apologise. I apologise. Please carry on.
Yeah. I took me off my stroll now.
You're David Babcock.
Sorry, I'm right then. Hi, I'm David Babcock, and my highlight of my day was listening to you, couple of cool, crazy cats. That's my car, right?
You've got a Volkswagen Polo, have you?
I've got a Volkswagen. Well, I'm not, but I thought I'd join in.
Well, you can't join in if you don't have the car. What is the point?
Well, say Nissan Micra.
Well, no, I'm not. That's not the car today.
Oh, is it a car per day?
Well, we've not decided yet. It might be per hour. So we might do a new. We'll do a new car at 11. So at the moment, for the 10 hour, it's a Volkswagen Polo.
10 hour.
The 10 hour.
The 10 hour and the 11 hour will be
11 at 11.
There's no car called 11.
Why is there someone that keeps setting up new Twitter accounts just to send us praise? Have you seen that, Kath? We've had a few of them. You probably won't see it because you have a filter on that stops. There's someone who just keeps, the last few days, has set up new Twitter accounts going, Iain and Kath, just want to say, really, really loving the show. You guys are so good. And it's that the bit that goes, you guys are so good. I check and go, right, we're the only people you're following, and it's the only tweet you've ever sent. I see sarcasm. We'll do a new car in the 11 hour, okay? What was your car that you've got, David? Just so I can put it on the list.
This is Micra.
Okay, we won't be doing that. Okay.
Can I do a public service announcement?
Oh, for goodness sakes, of course you can. That's what radio was invented for.
Dear listeners, if you're going to ring in about conspiracy theories about coronavirus, bugger off. If you're going to ring in to try and argue with Iain and Kathleen, bugger off. If you're going to ring in and talk about yourselves and not listen to when other people talk, bugger off. These pair are living it just like we are. Be nice to them. Right?
Oh.
What a bumlick. What a pathetic, sad little bumlick. What a despicable human being you are.
Up yours, I hate the both of you.
Goodbye.
Oh.
He's banned for the rest of the show. Idiot. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if he wants to give us a call. It's a nice message, though, but I still think he's a scumbag. By the way, David's streams recently have been on Twitch, have been out of this world. Go and follow twitch.tv/the David Babcock. I fell asleep this afternoon listening to Geeky Pete, and I woke up to him playing the You Bet theme on what seemed like a loop. Then I fell asleep again, and I woke up to David Babcock. I think he was flying an aeroplane. I'm not totally sure. Let's go to Dredge. Good evening, Dredge.
Hi, my name's Dredge, and I listen to Talk Radio.
There we go. Now we're talking. Why aren't you big in the advert world?
Good question. Well, there's your answer. Okay. I've got an Army impression for you.
Okay. Yep. We're doing Army impressions and Arnie impressions.
Silence when you speak to an officer.
Lovely. I like that.
Left, right, left. How's that?
Oh, that's nice.
Hey.
Lovely boy. Beautiful. Army impressions. That's what we need.
I've got a few feature ideas here.
Here we go. This is it. Now we got the brains. We've had the dregs. Here we go. We've had the dregs call in. Now we've got the dredge call in.
So the first one.
Okay. Is this on? Because I'm giving out gold and nobody is reacting to any of this.
No, you know what it feels like.
Oh! I've known what it felt like for most of my career.
Oh well. So the first idea.
Go on.
Aren't we dead yet, Mummy? Sorry?
10 in a row.
Yeah.
You play 10 records, and then you can go home an hour early.
Oh, they do that, don't they? Do radio stations still do 10 at 10? Where it's they play 10 records at 10 o'clock. We're going to play, don't forget, coming up after the news, it's 10 at 10, where you get to hear 10 songs back to back, uninterrupted by me, the DJ. You're just going to hear 10 songs back to back. No ads, no chat, no words. 10 at 10. It's unique. It's on our station. 10.
10 songs. No interruptions by human beings of any kind.
There'll be no, you could make a tape up and do this at home yourself, but we're saving you the trouble of making your own tape. After the news is 10 at 10. We're getting rid of the adverts. We're getting rid of any human interaction. Even the records have been chosen by a computer. It's 10 at 10. You won't get there anywhere else.
And we're going to listen to those records for you. So you don't have to do that either.
You don't even need to listen. You don't even need to listen to them. We've listened to them for you. They're so bad. You would hate these records. Catherine.
Do you remember how they used to choose those records?
Go on.
They used to have focus groups. They used to have focus groups for records, right? And used to get generally a load of women together, women my age and maybe slightly older.
Yes,
and they would play them snippets of songs.
Haggard old women who are past it. Their best days are behind them. They're no longer fertile or virile or attractive to anybody. They have nobody's interested them in any way whatsoever. And you would talk about music, yeah?
No, because they're the ones with the spending power, because they're the ones that have the they're the ones that go to the shops. So anyway,
as we heard yesterday, it's all dildos.
Collected together. Yeah, if only they didn't have to buy their pleasures.
Hello.
They'd go to these sort of village halls and they would play them snippets of songs, and they had to write down whether they liked them strongly, didn't mind.
They would go to village halls. Well, first of all, that we don't call them that anymore. But why would sex workers be so up on what music is good or not?
Village halls, facilities.
Hello. I think my signal's dropped. I think my line has dropped.
Unfortunately, it's loud and clear. Anyway, and they would choose the records on the basis that they were the ones that people didn't mind, because if they're not offensive, no one's going to switch.
Yeah.
My story.
Okay. Dredge, who cares? We're going to be late for the news. I don't care. We know what the news is going to be. Blah, 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 COVID-19. Blah, 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 Rishi Sunak. Blah, 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 man had sex with a dog. So, Dredge, continue, please.
What?
I was thinking one could be a listener could phone up and drink 10 pints of beer, and then they have to remember who they are.
Okay, so that's two.
That's every night, mate.
Yeah, yes, that's most of our callers. But both of them so far have got the number 10 in. I'm interested to hear the third and the final one.
Spot the 10 aardvarks.
Thanks very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. This, dear listener, is the Late Night Alternative, the home of features on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Here's a message from the Haters Club, dedicated to the one I love. I've been cursed by your wicked kiss. Once felt, it's forever missed, forever missed. I'm a member of the Haters Club, and I'm hating every minute of me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high hater. I run with the best like Darth Vader and the Witch of the West, poisoning apples to make you ill, like Cruella de Vil. I'll set you up for the kill. It's such a twisted state of bliss, indulging in such hatefulness. I just need a prequel to redeem my evil, 'cause I wasn't always like this, like this. Seeing couples hand in hand makes it
It's a features special on the show tonight, dear listener. Features. I'm featuring heavily on the show. Imani's got a new song out, which is about the coronavirus, and it's upbeat and it's joyous and it's wonderful, and she's made a video. I pop up in the video very, very briefly, blinking, you'll miss it. And here's the thing as well, Kath, my kids pop up in there as well in a blink and you'll miss it scenario. And they were thrilled when I showed it to them that they're in a proper pop video. It blew their minds.
Gosh, what did you do during the coronavirus lockdown? Well, I starred in a pop video.
Start in a pop video, man. It's a feature special. So we've come up with some features. By the way, the score is 3 to me, 3 to Katherine. Very tough, very close fought battle this evening. I can't explain the rules of that game because I kind of make it up as I go along. But it's a features special. It is. Here are some of the features. Highlight of the day. And the highlight of my day was I took a knob from one cupboard and put it on a cutlery drawer, and it worked. So now I can open my cutlery drawer. Word of the week, which we haven't come up with yet. Army impressions or Arnie impressions. The Listeners League. And also in this hour, we're still playing That's My Car. It's no longer the Volkswagen Polo. It is now the Datsun Sunny. The Datsun Sunny. Ooh. So if that's your car, you phone up 0344 499 1000. Go, yeah, that's my car. And you put the phone down. Simple as that. Suggested by the listeners. Alistair has got lines said wrong from films. Arnie impressions was from Ollie. And Dredge was something about tens. Tens machines. I don't really Oh, I haven't tried out the tens machines on the boys. Oh, that's Thursday. I'm gonna train my kids to give each other electric shocks. That's what we're doing. There you go. That's fun.
What could possibly go wrong?
Not a lot. I'm going to give them access to technology that can cause physical pain. How are you, Boyley? I know you went in. I have been really blessed. I have not had to go inside a supermarket since. I've not been in one for a couple of weeks since they introduced the kind of queuing and the distancing and stuff. The last time I went inside one was a big old Tesco's, and it was the last day of school term being open. I have absolutely no idea how long ago that was, but it was before they were introducing the social distancing in shops. Since then, I've been lucky enough. I got a delivery that I booked ages before. I've had a click and collect. I've got a click and collect this week and a click and collect at the end of the month. I think I can do, and I've been in like petty stations and stuff. I think I can do this whole coronavirus without having to go into a supermarket because I don't want to. I don't want to. But you went into one today, and it was a bit stressful.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't think I've been out that far for about a month. It felt weird driving my car. It felt wonky. It felt, like when you first learn and you're let out on your own and you think, surely someone's going to stop me at some point, and realise like weird driving it. I got very nervous.
Stop me!
I got very nervous before I got to the supermarket, and I don't know why. I mean, God, it's something that I did, every week before. It's been about a month since I actually went and did a shop like that, and had to sort of queue in the car park, which normally I used to. When they first started the distancing stuff, we were still kind of travelling to work. I was coming to yours, and I would come on the way to yours, and there wouldn't be a queue there at all. So it didn't feel as obviously regimented as it was this time around. There was a one-way system, and I don't know. It just felt very. There was a bit of passive aggression going on, and it wasn't entirely everyone else. There was a woman in front of me who was there with her adult daughter, and I was wondering why the hell two of them needed to be there, because one would get something, the other one would wait there, and that meant that there were people I had to walk through, and if it was just one person, they could stand at the side of the aisle and there'd be plenty of room, and she was also the daughter was sort of tutting when people walked by.
I'll tut her with my fist.
And for the most part I was sort of I was waiting behind people until they were done. But if someone was obviously dithering and hadn't decided and hadn't found what they were looking for, it became a thing where I thought, right, now I'm being annoying because they know I'm waiting, and so I would give them a wide berth and get around them. But I just didn't enjoy the experience at all, and I felt like felt so relieved when I came out. I had a little weep on the drive home out of relief.
I do think that we're in a heightened. No, I think that we're in a heightened state where the news and everything is so bleak, and I do think that the relentlessness. And I'm not listening to. When was the last time I listened to the radio? Oh, I listened to the lovely show on Radio 4 on Saturday mornings with Richard Coles and Asma. Can't remember her name.
Mia.
Yeah, that's it. And I listened to that, and that was nice because they're nice people and they have nice guests on, and I like that. I think it's a lovely start to. I think it's Saturday that's on. Maybe it's Sunday. I think that's a lovely start to the day, and that was on, and that was normal, and that I enjoyed that. But otherwise, it's podcasts. I'm caning through the podcasts. I'm not. What did I watch? I watched a couple of episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine tonight, but I'm so bored of that now. But I don't really want to watch anything else. I'm comfortable with that. But it is, these are weird times, and I think going to the shops and crying. I think there's loads of people doing that. There's no shame in that. It's a real reminder of what the world used to be like 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it feels so alien. I can kind of understand. Towards the end of my grandma's life, my mum's mum, she didn't want to go out anymore. She became quite agoraphobic. Well, she became agoraphobic. You can't be quiet. It's either one thing or the other. I get why. I've only been in the house or, kind of in the close proximity to the house for 4 weeks. Imagine if I'd been in for 6-8 weeks. I went to drop off some tea at my mum and dad's. And obviously they've been self-isolating. They've got to be in for 12 weeks, regardless of what happens. Yeah. My mum is climbing the walls. She's climbing the walls. Like the way that door is thrown open whenever I knock on it. I stand well back and everything, but you can tell she's just desperate to speak to someone else. And it's not that she and my dad don't get on. It's just, she's
au
driving
contraire, we know that you and your mum and dad are a horny couple of, they're swingers, aren't they? And so... But there's only so much rutting that they can do, and if they've been in lockdown for 4 weeks, they must be. I mean, he must be shooting sand. So they'd have to look for.
Right.
I hope you don't mind me talking about your parents like this. I'm sure you don't. They have to be looking. Okay, well, I think it's important that I carry on like this. And I wouldn't be saying this if we were in the same room, obviously. So they must now be looking for other activities because they must have gone through the entire. Suitcase in the wardrobe.
Flipping heck, mate. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Here's the thing, my dad's going to the virtual pub tomorrow with his mates, and the wives have been talking about, let's all get together on the weekend and have a virtual quiz. My mum doesn't want to go. Do you know why? I've not been out. I've gotten out to save myself. Mum, no one's been out.
Oh dear. Your poor parents. How are they though? Are they all, they're physically they're all right, aren't they?
Physically they're all right, yeah. But I mean, mentally, I don't know who's going to be left when this is all over. It's like the Thunderdome over there.
I got to give my mum a call tomorrow. Another reason I'm trying to stay away from the news is that now the focus is on care homes. And how care home deaths are not being included in the statistics, and how it wouldn't be my mum's type of care home, but in care homes where it's elderly people, they want people that have been ill with coronavirus who are in hospital to be moved to residential homes for their recuperation. And all the residential homes are going, No, you're not doing that. That's not happening because we've got lots of old, vulnerable people here. Yeah. So of course you're not going to do that. So I've been kind of getting a little bit het up at that because all the focus is now on the care homes and how it once it gets in, it gets in.
Yeah. Well, at least everyone sympathises with that view. I mean, I know that they do put people in care homes to recuperate, but it's not like they've had a fall, is it? And we don't know enough about the virus yet as to, exactly how long it takes to be out of your system.
Have you watched any films? Because I've not been able to focus on a film. I say Brooklyn Nine-Nine is 21 minutes and 44 seconds long, and so you do one, and I now don't even really watch it. I kind of have it on, and I'm sort of looking at it, but it's just they're just nice people to hang out with, and I can do 2 or 3 in a row because 21:44 it go, oh well, that actually wasn't very long, and so it kind of rolls on. There was the first kind of schmaltzy episode, season 3, episode 11, where Terry Crews and his wife have a baby, and it was kind of schmaltzy. I thought, okay, we're getting into this territory, are we? And there's a couple of laughs. There was one bit tonight that really made me laugh. Oh, the idiot one got the quote from Die Hard wrong. Yippee-ki-yay, mother fluffers. He said he said it wrong, and it was so deliciously wrong. It made me laugh. But I can't. The thought of putting on a film, sitting down and watching a movie. No, get out of here.
No, I've lost the enthusiasm by the time I've pulled the box off the shelf, to be honest, with my DVDs. Now, by the time I've decided what I want, it takes for ages.
You're talking about your husband there. You're talking about your husband there. He's lost the enthusiasm once he's pulled the box off the shelf.
Oh, my God. I mean...
You finally got that. Well done. Thank
you. Anyway, Drag Race. I've been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials. All the people doing really clever things. That's it. I can't commit. I can't sit down and think I'm going to be doing this for the next hour and a half. It's just
I watched
very restless.
Twitch.
Very restless.
A lot of Twitch. I watched Limmy's, the 3 episodes of Limmy's Homemade Show are up on BBC iPlayer, and I watched those, and they're just, they're delicious and weird. But yeah, watching a movie, going right in the next hour and 40 minutes, I'm going to dedicate it to this narrative. No, God, no. We're going to take a quick break. Katherine, may I make a suggestion that during this break you disconnect and reconnect, just because you're dropping ever so slightly.
All right.
And it seems to have got a little bit worse. But it's fine. We've understood it. All of the great input and great content that you've brought to the show, Katherine, we've understood it. I'm kind of hoping, if I'm honest, that when you try and reconnect, it doesn't work. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Katherine, you back?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. These are strange times, so let's go to Chris. Good evening, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello?
Hello, Chris. Could you come off speakerphone?
Sorry, boy. Yes, I am on speakerphone.
You're not now. What can we do for you, Chris?
Well, nothing, really. You was talking about saying different phrases in films, and you're talking about the army. Whistle while you work. Hitler is a book. Don't tell it. Don't tell him his name, Pike. I like that. I did.
I don't know what just happened, but I'm glad it happened. How are you coping with all this nonsense, Chris?
It was a famous... You must have watched Dad's Army, Iain, surely.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, and I got the reference, Chris, and I was then moving on to move the conversation on.
I didn't say it properly then.
There we go. Brilliant. How are you coping with all this, Chris?
No, I'm all right. I am. I do panic a lot, Iain. I do. Sorry, boy. I do. I'm sorry.
Everyone is in a strange state, Chris, and it's easy to understand the panic. But all we have to do is stay at home, wash our hands, and stay safe. That's it.
I wash my hands. I've even started wearing a bleeding mask now. Bloody hell.
Yeah, well, you should get one of those, like Jason Voorhees masks from Friday the 13th, the movie.
No, I'm not a great film watcher, have you know.
Okay.
So I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
What does that look like? Oh,
It
see,
looks like...
that's what winds me up.
Yeah, here we go.
People, they say to me, "Oh, you got to be, I don't know, 6 foot or 2 meters away from." And when you can't see any bugger anymore, you think, "Oh, right."
Can you not get? Can you not like fashion like a giant hoop that has a 2 meter diameter? You wear it around you. You wear it around you.
You taking the mickey or what?
Yeah, I'm taking the mickey out of you. Yes, and then people can't get. Yeah, that's me, Chris. You know it.
No, I don't need one of those bloody hoops. I know what you're talking about.
Yep. Okay. All right, Chris. Well, listen, nice to talk to you. Take care.
Yeah, you and Katherine and your 2 little boys as well. You take care of yourself, Ian.
Thank you very much, Chris. 03444991000 is the telephone number. The way he said that, Kath, it was like we had 2 little boys together. I don't think we do we?
Imagine. I would have noticed, I think.
Okay, I think we would have done. Tristan, good evening, Tristan.
Hello, Ian.
Hello,
How
Tristan.
are you?
What can we do for you? It's none of your freaking business, you nosy son of a gun. I'm all right, thanks. What you got?
I'll be honest with you, I've got no idea what you're talking about tonight because I couldn't find your stream on YouTube and the Talk Radio website is awful and
Talk Radio website is awful. I've stopped doing the stream for a little bit just because I'm not feeling very well, but once I start feeling better, it just became another thing to faff around with and I was getting stressed about it, so it's gone. It's gone.
I get it. It wasn't a complaint, it was just an observation.
I know it was, my love.
Yeah, so I called in, so I'm the guy. I'm that guy. You know, that guy that spent half his life in jail. And after I spoke to you last time, I went onto the stream, and there was lots of lovely messages from the listeners.
You have to remind me. I don't want to be rude. I don't remember which guy. Because I don't even know what I did this morning. So which guy?
So I rang you. I think it was last week. It may have been the week after and the week before. I'd spent 16 years in prison. And
you're that guy. Yes. Yes, you're that guy. You're that guy. You're the crook. You're the crook. Right. You're the thug. Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Like I said, after the last call, I went onto the thing and onto the stream, and in the chat there was loads of people offering their wishes and were keen to sort of wanted more information about what I'd been in jail for and things like that. And I just thought that I'd ring back and maybe provide some further information if you want it. But obviously, if you don't, that's fine.
Well, what information? Your PIN number?
Yeah, PIN number. You know, where I'm going to be next Thursday. That kind of stuff.
What information do you want to give?
No, what I'm saying is that people were interested in sort of more. Why I was in jail for so long and what did I do and things.
I'm not bothered.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool.
I'm not bothered.
Fine.
If I've been bothered, I'm aware you're in for 16 years. That's a long time. So I'm guessing there was some violence was involved in some form or another. But I don't care. I didn't think it was relevant to the conversation. Had I thought it was relevant, I'd have been digging around a little bit and asking some questions. But I didn't think it was relevant. You've done your time. You're not going to do it again, are you?
No.
Oh, beautiful. Then fine. You sound like the prison has worked in as much as it has punished you, but more importantly, it has rehabilitated you, or you've certainly been rehabilitated in some form. I mean, if you want to tell people what you did, then feel free to. But I don't. And I remember thinking this last time, am I supposed to ask him what he's done? And I think the etiquette is, but I genuinely. I couldn't care.
Okay.
And I hope that doesn't sound dismissive or anything. I don't care what you've done. Just don't do it again. That's what I care about. Don't do it again.
Yeah. What I would say is part of the reason why I'm quite open about the fact I've been in prison is I think the public debate about prison is so misinformed, and you know, in the press, you know, not want to particularly mention any of the certain ones. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but there's certain types of press that you know, the prison is a holiday camp and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you've listened to our show, right? You've listened to me and Kath for a long time. You know that's not where we come from.
That's not your view.
No, not at all. And the kind of people that think that prison is a holiday camp are it's lazy. It's lazy. Of course, it's not a holiday camp. Okay. You've got your you know, I'm sure they're more comfortable than they look like in porridge, but you have your liberty taken away from you. That's what it is. Yeah. You have your liberty. You can't see your kids or your wife or your mum or your mate. You have your liberty taken away, and I think prison should be, you know, I think you should have nice beds and you should be able to play PlayStation and you should have access to the internet and stuff like that, as long as, you know, here's the thing, Tristan, when you're talking to us, right, we're not the usual gobshites that are on the radio, okay?
Oh, no, definitely.
It is what you did. I mean, if you want to tell us, if you feel a burning desire to tell us, then tell us. But I don't know what I'd do with that information. It won't change my opinion of you. I don't care what you did at the moment. Who knows? We might have a conversation in 6 months' time where it becomes relevant, and I have to go, well, but hang on, you did 16 years. What did you do? But at this precise moment in time, I have a minor curiosity just because people are nosy, but I couldn't care less, really. Kath, I'm guessing you would feel the same about that. You couldn't care less, could you?
No, I'm interested in you now. If it ever becomes something that is useful in terms of saying, you know, I can tell you this because this happened to me, then yeah, cool. But I don't want to go poking around. You know, I don't want to go poking around in that stuff when it's not relevant. I would hope that people could come on our show and know that we're not at, you know, I don't know. It feels like it feels unnecessary. You know, okay. I know. The Tristan that we're getting now seems like a perfectly nice bloke, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you a bit better on the radio. You know.
Yeah.
And as
get
much
on
as
with
you
your
want
life,
to
man.
us, that's all cool.
Get on with your life. Get on with your life. Get on with your life. Get on with your life, and you know, and make amends where you can for what you've done. And one of the amends is to not do it again, and is to become a productive member of society. And you've already contributed 2 great phone calls to this show, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Certainly not here.
What I want for you is for you to know that coming here, you don't have to justify yourself or explain yourself like that. I mean, I'm sure in other aspects of your life, you're always talking about it, but you don't have to here if you don't want to.
Okay, then. That's great. Genuinely, that's great. I didn't ring up because I felt that, you know, you had to know, that you had a right to know, that I had a duty to tell you. I rang up because, like I said last time when I was after I was on the phone, a lot of the listeners did seem interested, stroke nosy.
Screw those guys. Screw those guys. What do they know? What do they know about anything?
I just thought that, you know, in line with the vibe of the ethos, if you like, of hashtag TLNA, this whole community kind of, you know, everybody's sort of there for each other kind of vibe, and, you know, people were interested in my story, so I thought I might want to share my story. But I also now see, on reflection, the point that you're making, that, you know, maybe from here going forward is the important part, not here looking backwards.
Let's do it another day, maybe.
That's okay.
Let's do it another day, maybe, because I don't want to deny you the opportunity to tell us stuff that I'm get the impression it's kind of important for you. Feel it's important for you to tell, but let's save it for another day.
That's cool.
Because if you were to tell me now, I'm going to say the sentences in my head, and it's going to sound rude, and I don't mean it to sound rude. Are you going
to say that it's not the right time for you to know it?
No,
the way you're
no. I'm going to say, what was I going to say? And it's going to sound rude. I'm not interested.
Okay.
Do you know? No, and I mean that. Okay, good. because I mean it in the most polite way that I can say it. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Tonight.
That's not really
I will
cool.
be. I might be at some point. But tonight I don't care.
Okay, that's cool.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'll call back. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try and find out a way of where I can actually listen to it and maybe contribute to the conversation that you are already having.
Listen, I know the Talk Radio website isn't very good, but there are loads of radio apps that you can get on your phone. The one I use is TuneIn. I think there's one called Radio Player, and they're free apps, and you can find Talk Radio on there, and sometimes the stream is a little bit better.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Nice one, man.
Do that
Thank
now.
you, Tristan. Nice to talk to you, mate. Take care of yourself. Thank you. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yes, man. Let's go to Bilal. Good evening, Bilal.
Good evening.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm okay. Quite bored, you know.
Bilal Zafar, the famous 28-year-old comedian. He's a smart dresser. He's a snazzy guy. And,
Did you watch the video again? Hi, Katherine. Sorry.
Hello. Yeah, I enjoyed your acting lessons. I think that you had a great deal of patience with someone who is, let's just say, testing.
That was filmed. Shut your face. Shut your face, both of you. That was filmed.
Yeah.
You shut your face. That was filmed on my week off. I had a week off. I had to come in to London especially for that. And if you notice, there's Katherine. He says, "Oh, you were late," right? He said you were late. And do you know what do you know what bit they cut out, Katherine? I'll tell you. It's me where I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. Someone jumped in front of a tube." That's a true story, and you cut that bit out. That's why I was an hour late. I was going to be bang on time.
I mean,
I'm going to say, I don't believe that Bilal would cover that up.
Covered it up. He's a scumbag.
No, that sounds like a terrible excuse.
I did watch it. For those who don't know, Bilal does a very funny online sort of mini series, I guess you get it, where you could call it, where each week he teaches a huge star how to act. He had me. He's had Josie Long on there, and there's I think did Danny Wallace do one in the end?
He's gonna do one, but lockdown happened. He would have been the next person.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but you know, I'm lucky.
I'd forgotten that because I watched it, and it feels like ages ago. But we were talking about coronavirus in that, and I'd forgotten. It felt to me like ages before coronavirus. I guess it hadn't really kicked off over here, but we mentioned it in there.
Yeah, you had conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah, I'm glad you kept those out because they were actually very libelous. Although Amanda Holden, who I mentioned, has gone on to talk about, she claims it was an accidental retweet of a thing about 5G. So let's just say my conspiracy theories weren't too far off the mark.
I cut the Amanda Holden bit out, but you've said it, so... You know.
There you go. Well, I said quite a lot more. Yeah. No, it's funny, man. I watched it. I don't normally watch stuff with myself. I look really fat.
Yeah, I wanted to know if it because you're very funny in it. You were because you kept asking once we were done if it was sort of good enough, but it was very funny.
Was it the funniest? Was I the funniest? Was I the funniest out of Josie Long and everybody else? You had some real talent there. Was I the funniest? Was I?
It was up there. The people my director and producer who were with us, it wasn't a little thing. It was like they've worked in TV. Ben, who directed it, is BAFTA nominated for a short.
I know.
film.
I looked at his Twitter feed. Yeah. He's actually proper.
Yeah. So they would have said if it was rubbish. It was it was great.
Thank you, man. I enjoyed it. It's nice to do something a little bit different. And
thanks for doing it. I posted it in an Lee fans group on Facebook. I had to join.
That's nothing to do with me. I left that page because I found it too weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but get
out of there, man. I'm not. No, get out of it. I got out of it because the people that run it are weird.
Are they?
Yeah, I don't even know who they are. I think they're killers. If our listeners are not members of the Lee Facebook fanbook page, What do they have to? It's on YouTube and stuff. Where do they go? And I'll retweet it in a minute. Where do they go?
Just search for Iain Lee on Facebook, and then it's like Iain Lee fans, and you have to request.
No, don't tell them how to find the weird stalkery Facebook thing. I'm talking about the YouTube video. Oh God, Bilal! How do they find the video?
Sorry, it's my pinned tweet.
All right.
My Twitter handle is Zafar Cakes, ZAFAR Cakes. Yeah, I thought it was weird you would ask where to find the Facebook page, but I went with it. Sorry about that. That's going to cause you problems.
2.4 thousand views. Here we go. The first one of mine had 6.2 thousand. Oh, look at this. Oh, Nick Sampson's only got 3.7. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky.
Nick Sampson used to be the Yellow Power Ranger like 15 years ago. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because it was filmed in New Zealand. That's where he's from. He's a comedian now.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, I know.
That's incredible. All right.
How do I go viral? I'm really frustrated. The videos I put up of you on Twitter are really funny, and I did subtitles on them, which took ages. And they're so much better than everyone else's tweets.
Yeah.
But they're not getting enough attention.
You need to have like an old woman putting a dog, putting a road cone, covering a dog with a road cone or something like that. I'm afraid having a guy that was on I'm a Celebrity 3 years ago swearing is not gonna. I don't know. That's the great mystery. How do you go viral? I've been viral twice. And it's with stuff that I didn't think was certainly was not the best stuff that I've ever put out there, but something caught the imagination. And there's no formula to it, my friend. There's no formula.
Oh, also, I was going to call in yesterday, but then you stopped saying callers. You're slagging off stand-up comedy.
Awkward.
Yeah. Oh, you've forgotten?
Catherine, get me at Catherine.
I could probably find a clip for you if you want a reminder.
No, Bill. The thing about the stand-up comedy, what I think is that the problem with stand-up comedy is my line dropping in and out. It feels like I'm dropping in and out. Is that good? Well, Bilal, mate, I'm sorry, we're going to have to. Bilal, we're going to have to let you go, mate, because I think we're going to have to reboot the system. Bilal, so nice to talk to you, mate. Thank you. You take care of yourself. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
I hope Bilal's still listening because he asked how to go viral, Catherine. Well, I can't advise him on that, but I recommend he asks a good friend of mine, the coronavirus. Yes, guys, yes! Yes, man, get COVID-19 on your ass. Not literally, but that's satire. That's satire.
Oh,
Is this on?
That's too tasty for me.
I'm going to let me send you a really.
It is on.
Hang on a minute. George is asleep in a really awkward position.
What am I going to send?
Hang on. Let me turn the flash off. I'm just taking pictures of my cat to send. I'll tweet it. I'll tweet it, guys. Like I've got a dead cat on the sofa. There we go. I'm going to send you a picture of. Georgie boy.
Which one, George?
Lording it up.
I knew it.
Yeah.
He's your favourite. The others are going to find out, and then he'll be even less popular amongst them than he already is.
There you go. Look at the state of that. Look at the state of that.
Oh, he's so cute though.
State of that.
My cat's taken to sleeping on her back like a person.
He's on his back. That's it. He's on his back.
I think they're starting to copy us.
Yeah. He's not my favourite. I've got a favourite.
Like
I'm not saying who it is. It's Mucky.
Mucky's my favourite.
Yeah, she's my favourite. But I am Patty's favourite. Patty is very snuggly and will cuddle up to me, and
she's
quite needy. Yeah, George is. I don't even know what George is. George is just a weirdo, but I love him. Let's go to Will. Good evening, Will.
Good evening. Hello.
Will, how can we help you?
Well, I don't know if you help me anyway. You just helped me by being on the radio.
I don't really want to help you. What I'm saying is, what do you want?
What do I want? I just wanted to call in. I was listening to Kath talk about the supermarket scenario.
Yeah.
And I had this very similar experience today. I went to the supermarket. I was getting some stuff for my parents as well. And I just totally know what you mean. It was completely weird being in such a familiar scenario, but it all being so alien at the same time. And it was completely overwhelming. There's an app that I used for this particular brand of supermarket. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who they are, but they've got an app.
Why do people think they're not allowed to say the names of supermarkets on the radio? I've never understood that. Of course you are, unless you're going to say, Sainsbury's kills babies. You can't say that. Oh God, I've said it. But you can't say that. But you can say, oh well, yeah, I shop at Tesco.
It's because of the BBC. Yeah, it's.
But even on the BBC, you can to a certain extent.
It's like advertising, I guess. If I say their name, then I'm giving away free advertising. I don't know if you've got some kind of.
But that's your choice. No, that's your choice. If you're gonna, that's your choice. You're right. It's slightly different on commercials. It's BBC.
Great. Sainsbury's are amazing. They've got an amazing app that you can use. That's like you scan your shopping as you go and put it into the the trolley. And it took a lot of the hassle out of it. A lot of the kind of the worry is alleviated from scanning your own stuff. Basically, I'd advise it very much.
I don't want to go back if I can avoid it. I'm going to be looking out for click and collect locks or something, because I found it really stressful and. I really hated it.
What is the problem with getting crisps and sweets and a frozen roast dinner from a petrol station and then getting Domino's? What is your problem with that? You've just got to adapt. Mankind has to adapt. The way it was 6 weeks ago, that's gone. That is never coming back. You've got to adapt. Petty stations, Domino's. That's it. Focus. Focus, girl. You can do it. Right now, please.
Some things you can't do, though.
For example, Will, what can't you do?
Well, I just playing gigs. I missed it. I was listening to a live recording today. Someone was mixing something for me, and they sent me the live recording of a show we did 18 months ago or 2 years ago. And it was really nice to listen to. It was like a little snippet of a moment of being in a room with lots of people at the same time, and it was beautiful to listen to, but it was also kind of heartbreaking because I've spoken to my manager today. He was saying it might be 2021 before we can all crack on with it, and I don't know. I'm struggling with that today.
I know that's a hard concept to take. We, Kath, I should let you know by the way. Our show, yeah. Oh no, exactly. But Kath, our show in Luton has been pushed back till November. The venue phoned me up and they said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'd do whatever you want. I'm happy to keep it in September. I'm happy to do it next year, whatever." So we're doing the show that's moving till November. I'll give you the date later. The rest, I guess they're probably going to be postponed till next year. But you're right, Will. Kath and I are very lucky that our live shows they're a nice little bonus for us. It's not our living, and for musicians and comedians and magicians and all that kind of and DJs and all that kind of world, that's their career's closed for the next 6 months, maybe the next 12 months. We don't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I'm at right now. My wife has a market, like a sort of cafe in a market, and she's had to close that down because she doesn't have business rates because she doesn't own the business. She owns a business, but it's in a marketplace. She can't get any of the the rate, the grants basically. So it's just terrifying. Looking into the future and not knowing how it's going to play out. when I'm going to be able to get back on the road, or it's very strange. Very strange. I'm kind of sorry. Carry on.
No, I was going to say, and and I have to couch this in this because people call me and Kath out for this, going, well, they're living such a privileged life. We totally get it. We are not in any way taking the fact that we are still working we're the only entertainment industry that's still going. And we are so grateful that we're working 5 nights a week, that we've got gardens. You know, we're in a very privileged position. So what I'm about to say is significantly easier for me and Kath to do than it is for a lot of people. But the thing that I was living in a lot of fear when this kicked off. And the thing that has reduced the fear significantly is not looking forward, is not thinking, is not looking back to when things were normal, and not looking forward to what things might be and when this might come to an end. It's trying to, what have I got today? What have I got to do in the next hour? The next hour. I did one of the things on my list today. It was a really small, simple thing. I wanted to find a decent editing program for a PC because I've been using Mac for 15 years. So I spent 40 minutes online looking at editing software, and I found something and I bought it. Brilliant. That was an hour that was completed. Looking forward to, my birthday in June. There's no point in even going that far. Just trying to keep it in the furthest I'm looking forward is I know my kids are coming on Thursday for 2 nights, and on Friday I've got to click and collect. That's it. If I go any further than that, I start to spiral out of control and start panicking.
I started like a kind of subscription thing on my website, the idea being that I can like make podcasts and like do like old live recordings and stuff, and like put it all on this like subscription thing. So I've started doing that, which is really nice, and it kind of gives, because my whole thing is I'm normally just out playing gigs, so suddenly there's this thing where like, if I'm not doing that, what am I doing? So I started doing that, and that's been kind of cool, like trying to work out what to do for that and have something.
What's the website, Will?
backstage.willvarley.com.
VARLEY.
backstage.willvarley.com. It's $4.99 a month.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? People are bored out of their minds at the moment. Now, a friend of ours, Pete Heat, has been doing kind of private shows on Zoom. I wonder whether there's something in that where, someone could pay. I mean, I think he's doing it on a pay what you feel basis. But you give them a half-hour show on an evening, and, people will be celebrating birthdays and stuff and they can't go out, or people are having these virtual pub meetings and stuff. It'd be nice to have some music there. I don't know. Maybe there's something in that for you.
Yeah, I did a live show, like a live stream kind of thing, and I'll definitely do that again.
Yeah.
But it's so alien to do that because there's no crowd, there's no response. You're just talking to a phone. It's a weird thing to do.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy it.
But on a Zoom, you can see them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely give that a try.
I was really impressed with Pete's show. It was great, because it's so bloody boring. It gave us something to look forward to, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the whole music is slightly different, but I think the whole entertainment industry is going to have to look at a way to changing its model. I believe they call it a model in business terms, and doing small intimate concerts like that might be a way forward. I would suggest as well, because I'm looking at your website, and I would hang on a second, let me just have a little look at what you've got up here. I would suggest as well, because you've got the monthly thing and you've got the annual thing, I would suggest as well just having like a hat, like a metaphorical hat, and saying, look, if you don't fancy signing up for either of these things, I've just signed up for a year on your website, Will. I hope you don't mind. My pleasure. I'm trying to support small indie artists that I like. But maybe you just want to have like a tip jar or something and say, look, if you don't want to sign up for a month, but you want to chuck me £2, or you want to chuck me 20 quid, or you want to chuck me £100, or, you can do that as well. Maybe that might be another little thing that you can do. But there's no way around it. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. And you have nothing but our sympathy and our good wishes. And anytime you're doing anything that you want to plug, you come on the show and you give it a plug.
My first podcast was Monsters. I did that last month, and I've got to do another one in the next week. So if any of the listeners can come up with a good idea for the next, sort of subject of the podcast, that'd be good. My cat has just brought a mouse in to the.
Is it dead or alive?
Oi.
It is dead.
Thank God for that, because one of my cats brings in live ones, and my Patty killed a baby shrew yesterday. That's something to be proud of, isn't it? A baby shrew.
I had one the other night. Well, actually, the other morning, I woke up and went downstairs, and there was the remnants of the mouse in the conservatory, because we lock him out of the main house in the night because of this time of year, because he just keeps bringing stuff in. But I found two, like, he'd eaten the mouse, but he'd left the unborn mouse children.
Oh.
So I went into the conservatory.
Why are you telling us this? This is worse than COVID-19.
I'm just telling you what happened. It's just literally what happened. There was two unborn mice, like mouse babies. And
Kath, make him stop.
I know. What can I do, though?
I can't unsee it.
English.
So you can stop telling us about this really horrible murder. Will, send me a tweet with your links and stuff, and I'll retweet it for you. All right?
Thank you, Ian. Take care. Thanks very much.
You too, mate. See you later on. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot. Let's go to Keith. Good evening, Keith.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Katherine.
What you got for us?
Hi, Keith.
I was thinking a little feature. I know you've probably done it anyway, but misheard lyrics from songs.
Away you go. What have you misheard? I've got a 1-inch head.
Madonna, right? La Isla Bonita.
Yeah.
There's a thing on there with girls with eyes like potatoes.
Oh my God! Why would she sing that?
Well, it's supposed to be potatoes, isn't it? But there we go.
Oh, I don't know.
And also,
I don't know that lyric.
Girls like islands. Girls with eyes like potatoes.
Yeah. And then if you
that's not in there.
It is.
You've really misheard these lyrics.
Hang on a minute.
That's the whole idea. Also, Ray of Light. Yeah.
No, but you've got him wrong.
No.
What line is he talking? I don't know.
Young girl with eyes like the desert. Young girl with eyes like the desert.
You got the lyric. You misheard the lyrics, and then you misheard the correct lyrics when someone corrected you.
Oh, I apologise. I do apologise. I'm old and senile.
This is the best. Kath, I'm going to pass you a coded message. Hang on a minute. I've got to pass Katherine a coded message. Katherine, hit refresh now, please. Now we're in queues. Keith, carry on.
And about Ray of Light, Madonna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keeps calling.
I don't trust anything.
Keeps calling for Anna Friel.
Don't we all? And what is it supposed to be? Although you probably won't know.
No, I don't know. Tell you the truth.
Flipping it, Keith. Thank you very much for your call, mate. Take care. But 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Mark, you'll be up next after the news. I feel sorry for that guy. Gosh, suddenly 2 hours are gone. The show's flying by tonight. You all right, Boyley? You having a little giggle there?
A little one.
Little cheeky little gigs. We'll carry on. We've got features. We're having a chat. We're talking about whatever you want to talk about. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We're trying to be the antidote to all of the numbers and the stats and all the depressing stuff, but we can't not talk about it because it's out there. But we're also doing the highlight of your day. Mine was I managed to change a knob on some drawers. Word of the week: Army impressions, Arnie impressions, the Listeners League, saying lines wrong from a film, and something to do with the number 10, but I really didn't understand what Dredge was on about. This is Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow, I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
Ba-dum, 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 oh yeah, pretty mama, I love your ways, you sing your band, oh. 0344 499 1000. Let's get straight in. Let's enter. Let's physically crawl inside the rectum of Mark. Good evening, Mark.
This is a journey into sound. I just thought of that one.
Hello.
Did it sound all right on the radio?
It sounded marvellous, Mark.
Yes. Hello, Katherine. Hello, Iain. And hello to
Mark.
all their furry friends. Bella likes to sleep on her back, by the way. Bella being a cat. It's just hilarious. But anyway, right. Two little bits for Iain, firstly. When you phone the doctor, I think it's this week, tell him, I said about it before, your eustachian tubes, I think they are blocked. But the other thing, last night you said about the...
Hang on, my what?
What tubes you got blocked now?
The ones that connect your ear to your mouth.
Right. I'm not... Well, hang on. What? I'm not going to say that. Well, first of all, I'm not phoning the doctor. I'm going to speak to the receptionist.
Oh, right. Well, it was just saying, it's just, I've listened to you and you said about your ears hurting when you go do the aeroplane and all the various other things.
We may never fly again.
But anyway, but also yesterday you said about the rash.
I'm not going to.
If any of the tablets you're taking cause photosensitivity?
Oh, let me go and read the list.
Yeah, no. It's got everything that can go wrong on those leaflets.
Exactly.
It was just a thought. But anyway, something practical.
Practical. Yep.
Practical. Yep. With the little ones, the children, and everyone listening, your garden is a resource. So
yes, I got a slot. Yes, I got a slot. Yes, I got a slot. Kiss my ass, everybody. Come and give my big juicy ass a big old juicy kiss. 'Cause yeah, that's right, baby. Tuesday the 5th, 1 till 2. Yeah, I'll take that slot. Thanks very much. Kiss my ass, everybody. The show's finished. Show's over. I've got a delivery slot. And Tuesday the 5th of May, the show is over. Katherine, how's yours looking?
No change.
Are you still in the queue?
Yeah.
Well, okay. We'll keep...
I mean, do I refresh? Do I take a gamble?
No, don't refresh. That'll put you... Don't refresh. That'll put you to the back of the queue. You do not want to be in the back of the queue. Right now, Katherine, you're in...
I'm going to stay here.
Edging up. You're edging. Katherine, you're edging. Keep on edging. Edge, edge, edge. And then you get to the front of the queue, and then I pray you'll get a delivery slot. And if you don't, Katherine, I'll sell you my delivery slot for £25.
Gosh, you're so kind.
You're very welcome, mate.
Mark.
Very, very welcome.
It's still there.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Carry on, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, for the little ones particularly, but it's collect a different type of stone that you find in the garden. So the white ones, the red ones, and all the rest of them, and obviously look them up on the internet. Measurements, things like mathematics. If you get a tape measure and start putting sticks down the garden, then go and turn it into squares. You've got area and the various number things and things like that. Does that all make sense?
My boys are always measuring. If I have a tape measure, the boys are all. We have to measure everything. We have to measure them. We have to measure me. We have to measure doors. We have to measure books. We have to measure everything.
You just reminded me, doors. Today's achievement was fitting a keyless lock. You know, the ones with the buttons.
Beautiful.
My kitchen door I am now keyless.
There we go. What?
I've always fancied that one. But back to the gardens, though. Have you ever made clay out of the made usable clay that you can make things out of the clay out of the garden?
I don't.
Nice and messy.
I don't like getting.
No.
I don't like getting my
Ian
hands
doesn't like getting
dirty.
his hands dirty.
No, I don't like getting my hands dirty. My boys do, and they do all that stuff. Not my cup of tea, not my vibe. I do not like dirty hands.
Okay, a crayon and a piece of paper and do like brass rubbing, but you do it on trees, on the patio.
I'd rather be doing brass rubbing
stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's just
dirty.
obviously. Then there's leaves. And there's also gardening, and
oh God, you're right, Mark. Isn't lockdown so boring?
But I grow lettuce and rainbow chard, Lolo Rosso lettuce that the slugs don't seem to like, and rainbow chard. They're two nice plants that you can eat, and they don't taste foul from the children's point of view.
Do you know of a lettuce that you've not eaten? You know, because you chop that bit off, the hard bit. If you stick that in water and put it on your windowsill, it will grow again.
Yeah, it starts to re-sprout.
Yeah.
Oh God, lockdown is so boring. We're talking about nature. Oh God, when will we get back to normal? Please, Jesus, cleanse us of COVID-19. Please, Jesus, cleanse us of the COVID-19 virus. I want things to go back to normal. I don't like nature.
And when you got to start educating the children again?
Oh, that's next week, man. That's next week.
Oh dear.
Are you filling their education is going to be.
Are you filling in the
I will be doing some teaching.
Form?
I've got the boys for a couple of days, and they will get a great education on how to play Fortnite and how to swear. I'm going to teach them the C word. So they're gonna have a great time. They're gonna learn a lot.
I've got one proper one though. Is I learnt electronics. Well, it started me off. There's a lovely little book, and it's a PDF free download on Google called Making a Transistor Radio. And the very first bit is making a crystal set. Have you ever...
We made a crystal set. Yeah, I made a crystal set with them from a kit, so it should have been easy. It was a kit from the Science Museum, and they were so bored, and then we couldn't get it to work, and then I got bored. So no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them interview me on my illustrious career.
What, put it on YouTube?
No, just for their own. They're going to take notes.
That was what I was going to say, actually. That guy that said he filmed you, and he was having difficulty, people seeing the films or whatever. Just put it on YouTube. Don't make it so complicated. Because all the other ones...
no, he's put it is on YouTube.
Whatever else is.
He's done it on YouTube, but he wants it to go viral. He wants to get, he's had thousands watch it. He wants millions to watch it.
But he said he'd put it on Twitter or something.
Yeah, he's put it on but the basis is on YouTube, and then you can put it on other bits and pieces for it to try and catch fire.
Right. Because I'm going to set up a YouTube thing for Bella, the different bits and pieces, her playing with a feather, which is absolutely hilarious, because she actually looks at the camera before she starts. But it makes a game of it. But it's...
put a video of your kid playing with a feather?
No, Bella being the cat.
Now that I'm watching. Mark, that I am in. Thank you for that, Mark. 0344 499 1000. A lot of good advice there, a lot of good tips. A cat playing with a feather. I'm watching that, Catherine. Now that would go viral. There's not. This is Bilal's problem. There's not enough cats in his videos. That's the problem.
No, all
That's
feathers.
Why he's not gone.
You're right.
Cats and feathers. That's not why he's not gone viral. What's happened on your Tesco page now?
I'm looking for slots. Let's all
go
calm
go
down.
through them. Go to the end. Go to the last set that they've got, because don't get cocky.
No, I've got nothing.
Oh.
I've got nothing.
Oh, you were too slow, mate.
Yes, it's sad.
You were too slow. How long were you hovering on that page?
It's all good.
No. Now try click and collect. Now try click and collect. This is the time to. This is not the time to do it, actually, guys. This is the worst time to do it. So don't anyone try and do it now. Look, George and Patty have gone to sleep, and George is holding Patty's head. That's weird. If I can get a picture of that, I'm just taking pictures of my cat. I'm supposed to be doing a radio show, but who cares? Catherine,
that's what everyone's doing.
You're a terrible human being.
I know, but I do. Offering up my local. That's annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Just go. Keep going through them. You got this. This is great radio, guys. Let's take a break. Let's talk radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Oh yeah, pretty mama. Gonna make a love all summertime, baby, yeah. My little pretty mama, we're gonna do it, had 'em fast, we're gonna do it. 0344 499 1000. How's it going there, Boyley?
Nothing giving.
Oh.
Fine,
Okay.
I'll keep trying.
Now all right, here's the tips. You want to book a delivery slot, you do it at midnight. I believe for Waitrose, I think it's 3:30 they released them. Tesco's, it's midnight. You want to get a click and collect, you just got to keep checking throughout the day. And they will just pop up at random old times. That's just the way it'll be. And I promise you, it will work. Let's go to Sloop. Hang on, let's go to... Why won't that work? Good evening, Sloop.
Her man's been gone for nigh on a year. He was due home yesterday, but he ain't here. Hello to Ian. Hello to Kath. Hello?
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Stupid.
Hello. Is it too late to get a wild poker in?
Yes. Well, we'll let you... This is the last one.
The last one, yeah? Wahoo McDaniels. There you go.
No such thing.
If you say so, my friend, if you say so. Listen, I just want to check in and say hello. Go on.
As I say so.
If you say so, you're the big man. You're the boss man. I'll go with that.
But he ain't here. Her man's been gone for nigh on a year.
Don't join in.
He was due home yesterday, but he ain't here.
I'm quick, huh? I'm quick. I've got quick fingers.
Yeah, very, very quick fingers, Mr. Lee. Very, very, very quick fingers.
That's what the ladies tell me.
That's what they say, man. That's what they say.
Imagine being sat in a room with a lady. Imagine that! Instead of my own shame, guilt, and cats, because that.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to weigh it up. You know, there's pluses as well.
Like a lady.
You're a solitary man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'm going to say it. I wouldn't mind a hug. I wouldn't mind holding hands. Pete is right. Pete says Kath tries to get an online shop is weirdly compelling radio. And you know what? I knew it was. I think we're going to do this every night, Katherine, at midnight. We're going to try and get. We're going to try and book some slots because I think it's actually quite. I think there's an element. This is what we're at now, but there's an element of what's the word? Not danger, but it's
jeopardy.
It's exciting.
Are you getting everything you need?
Yeah.
Because I'm a man in the know. I'm a night manager for a supermarket chain, so my life has been absolutely hell for like the past sort of month. So things are getting better. Though the stock levels are back up again. There's lots of loo rolls.
The stock is fine. The stock is fine as we knew it would be once people stopped being absolute idiots and buying everything they could get their hands on. Buy what you would normally buy, and it will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I've noticed a very cunning thing they're doing at the supermarket near us is that you queue up outside. Oh, sorry, my voice just broke. You queue up outside and they give you a trolley that they wipe down in front of you so that you know it's clean. I had rubber gloves on anyway, like medical ones. And they only give you the shallow trolleys. So there's no piling stuff up, and you have to be really careful about what you buy because if it doesn't fit in, you ain't bringing it home.
Well, we're all in this together, aren't we? I mean, that's the main thing. So it's looking after your brother. But listen, man, could I say something? Just a message to someone who's listening right now. And
or you could tell them.
I could tell them.
We could call them, yeah.
I don't want to call them out as such, but there was someone who was who's a fan of the show and was having a really, really bad time last night. Me and a couple of the other sort of listener callers sort of reassured them that things are going to get better, and I just wanted to say that things will. And there was something really lovely that happened to me last week. I've been walking to work because I don't want to catch, public transport, and I'm a key worker and
catch
whatnot.
Fleas. Yeah.
No, no, but there was a minute when, as I was walking past, I stopped to catch my breath, and some customers from my store came out. Hey,
you can wear my shoe. Learn to talk like me, and be an angel too.
What is this?
But maybe never gonna know me. But I know you.
I know you. Let me tell you now, things. Let me preach it, brothers. Can only get better. Can only get better. Can only get better. Yeah, go on. Just a message to all of our listeners and our fans out there. Things can only get better. They can actually, well, let's be honest.
From 1 o'clock with Darryl.
We haven't, well, hang on. Let's be honest. We haven't reached the peak yet. So things will probably get quite a bit worse. But then, once they've got quite a bit worse... Whoa! Yeah! Hang on. Hang on. So things are going to get significantly worse for the next few weeks, possibly the next month. But then things will eventually get better. It's gonna take quite a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years, yeah. But let me tell you, things will never go back to normal. The life that we knew has gone, it's gone away. Oh, yeah, but eventually things are gonna get a little bit better. Things are gonna get a little bit better. They won't go back to normal. And that life has gone away. Yeah. We will never be the same again, and not in a good way. I hope that provides an optimistic yet honest message for anybody out there who's struggling.
It's so good to talk to you too.
You know what you're giving them there, Ian? You've given them succour.
I'm doing no such thing, Katherine. That's your job. That's one each, Catherine. That's one each. We go to 4 all. That's one each. I'm being honest and I'm being fair. Yes. Sloop's still here. Yes, of course. But you're too much of a pussy to get the bus. Yes, carry on.
What are you getting a bus? What are you talking about? I'm being safe. I'm doing my bit, you know. And also as well, I need to.
All right. Well, if
I've got to go.
I'm safe. When I get a bus, I wear a Johnny. Carry on.
I have a question for Kath. Katherine. Oh.
Yes.
Listen, if I'm really good, can I call up next week and pitch another show to you?
What?
No.
Goodbye.
Okay.
03444991000 is the telephone line if you want to give us a go. I do believe that we won't go back to the way it was. I think things will be different. I think some things will be better.
No.
I think that the life that we have been lucky enough to enjoy for a long time, I don't think it will ever go back to that. I think things will have to change. I don't quite know what those things will be. Are we going to be doing social distancing for the next 12 months at least? I reckon. These are my predictions. Does Donald Trump stop withholding money from the World Health Organization? Is that what was in the news at midnight?
He said he's not giving them any more money ever again.
What prick. He's the guy who about 3 weeks ago said that the Chinese flu was a fake democratic scam. Have I got that right? That guy is blaming other people when he said it was a fake news made up by the Democratic Party. Okay, well done, sir. Well done.
He then said he knew before everyone else, and also no one could have known, no one could have seen it coming.
Here's my thing on Donald Trump. I would not wish this disease on anyone. I would not wish anyone to die of this disease. Okay, I certainly wouldn't. However, I do have to say, if Donald Trump did get it, and if he did die of it, I think that it could be argued. I'm choosing my words really carefully because you do have to these days, because someone will say, "Oh, Iain Lee wish Donald Trump would die of it." No, not at all. I'm doing a hypothetical mind game, which we're still allowed to do. If he did get it, and if he did die of it, I really think that would be the catalyst in the United States for potentially taking this whole thing much more seriously than a lot of people are, and it could ultimately save lives. I've said that in a really extended, very, very carefully phrased way. But I do think that could, you could possibly argue that his death from this could convince people who still think it's a democratic con, who still think that they'll be able to go back to work at the end of April, that actually, oh God, if this is actually a serious thing, and I think it might save lives. I think it could be argued, he said, being clever again and careful, it could be argued that it might save lives.
We've seen what happened with Boris Johnson getting it. I think that has shaken a lot of people who were more inclined to play it down, and I think it's been a bit of a jolt for a lot of people. So maybe. What I find really interesting about nowadays is that we are all now looking to experts and expertise, where we've spent about 3 years being told that the experts don't know anything and it's all about how you feel about stuff. It's the rise of the nerds, and I'm quite glad to see them return, to be honest.
All jokes aside, God, I wish this would end. This is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. A global pandemic. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Let's go to Safe. Good evening, Safe.
Hello. Just a bad call. I'm not really much of a talker, but the iron up ill.
Uh-oh. This is going to be an awkward phone call then, because we're running out of steam as we approach the last 30 minutes of the show. You're not much of a talker, but we're going to get through this together. We're going to get through this together, my friend.
I was wondering, there was a period, it was a couple of weeks ago, I think, before your break, I think, you said you hate the world and what you see of it before you kind of, basically, because how did you get out of that?
I don't quite remember exactly that what you're saying, but I think I get the gist of.
Sorry. I think you had a few callers, and it was just grinding.
Oh, they were getting on my nerves. Yeah, grinding. Where, I tell you what, to make this slightly easier for me, are you suggesting that you are in a similar space? And if so, what is that space like for you?
Well, normal, in essence.
You're not in that space?
No, I always am, it seems.
Oh, you always are? Well, what is it like for you then?
Well, it's looking at the situation of everything. I don't know how to put it.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and scared?
Well, that's... Okay, let me just... Okay. No, not really, because it's just I'm looking around and everything I see, I'm seeing the kind of criticism of the hypocrisy and blah, 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 and all the repetitive stories. But, I don't know, just see everyone say, if that song you just put on with this is going to get better, I know in essence it will. But I'm kind of torn as to where, because no matter which way I look in my kind of trajectory, it's just not going to get better for me.
What's not going to get better for you? Would I be right in thinking you're talking more widely than just about the coronavirus?
Oh, yes, especially that one. I did not know.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why.
What's not going to get better for you, Safe?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to change what's going. Okay, I'm going back to your other one. Something good that happened the other day.
Yeah.
I reintroduced Change Up for Everyone. I was going through, obviously, what as everyone is in this time, going through the TV collection. And I came across, obviously, which hasn't been quite a while. It was at Nat King, so I'm going to do something now. I think I might give back everyone a message.
Are you okay, man?
Not. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What's going on? Something's not right, is it? Something's not. I'm struggling to follow what you're saying, and I get the idea that you're quite an intelligent bloke, but for some reason you're struggling to follow a thought through, and I just wondered what was going on.
I think she said, that's just all okay with it. That's the problem at the minute. My mind's just kind of layering everywhere and everything. So
a lot of people's minds are not quite as sharp as they were a month ago. A lot of very bright, very articulate, very clever people are really struggling to focus their thoughts and to finish sentences and to know exactly how to express themselves. So you're not alone in that. Let's go back to your original question. How did I get out of a thing where I hated the world and everybody? Well, first of all, okay, go on.
It was before you said you needed to have a break because everything was just...
Yeah, I was tired and I was depressed. I have been up and down enough to know that whatever I'm feeling, whether it's really, really bad or really, really good or indifferent, whatever I'm feeling will pass. It never lasts. The bad stuff never lasts, which is great, but that also means that the good stuff never lasts, which is kind of great as well, because you'd get tired of the good stuff all the time. But I have a few tricks in my book. I'm on antidepressants that I get from my doctor. I meditate. I walk. I know when I'm not feeling well, and I have a close circle of friends that I can talk to about that. I write stuff down, and I write how I'm feeling down, and that is really helpful. And I have ways of taking myself away from myself, and that's like dumb stuff, like playing video games or watching silly TV programs or listening to music. But listening to music is really helpful, actually. I need to remember that. So those are the tricks that I use. When I get really down, I pick up the telephone and I call the Samaritans, who are on 116 123, and I'll say their number again in a few minutes. I call the Samaritans, and they're probably really busy at the moment, but they are incredibly kind, warm strangers who will listen and will not judge. So that's how I get out of it.
Okay.
Does any of that kind of click with you?
No, it's kind of complicated because this whole situation everyone's in, I feel like I've been in it for the past 4 years. So, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but I'll do it.
Have you spoken to your doctor about it? Because I think that could be a really, really good idea.
No.
I think my top suggestion, and I know it's tricky at the moment, but my top suggestion is you speak to your doctor and express to them what you've expressed to me.
Yeah, I understand. I'll think about that. Thanks.
All right. Listen, take care of yourself. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Go on. One more thing. Go on quickly.
Before I was going to do a little smile, though your heart is aching.
What?
Smile, even though it's breaking.
Thanks very much indeed. 03444991000 is the phone number. Well, that took a turn, didn't it? There's a text for you here, a tweet for you, Catherine, that you can't see. Tell that irritating, intellectually challenged bird, Kathy, David Icke forecaster this years ago. You imbeciles don't realise that Trump is the greatest president since Washington. God bless him, and thank God that half-wit racist Obama ain't in charge. And that's from someone who is called @Holly Fanatic. Oh, I've just clicked on their bio. Since the Orwellian, this is @Holly Fanatic. Since the Orwellian state has appeared, I've admired the brave free speech fighters, especially Tommy Robinson, Katie Hopkins, and Prison Planet. This is a guy who thinks he isn't being manipulated, who's being manipulated. All right, buddy, nice one. Let's take a quick break. Then we got Lara and Matthew. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
It's only really now, as I approach 47, that I'm starting to accept that Hillary is acceptable as a man's name. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm certainly closer than I've ever been, Catherine.
It's all right for a posh man, I think. Posh men who don't have to defend themselves in comprehensive schools will probably get away with Hillary and not realise that it's problematic for some. Tracy's, Shirley's, all those people.
Yeah,
But, you know, it's 2020. Live and let live, you know.
But yeah, I find girls with boys' names. I find girls with boys' names sexy. Jamie, anyone? Sure. Let's go to Lara. Good evening, Lara.
Good evening, Iain.
I smell trouble. Go on.
I have just phoned. I didn't know.
A bottle of wine?
No, I didn't even know I was going to get through.
It's a phone-in radio show.
Yeah, and I can't believe it worked. I'm just testing it out. And I was just like to say how proud of you I was with how you dealt with that last caller.
Thank you very much indeed.
Fantastic, Iain. And
thank you.
Really, really, really well done. and I haven't really got anything else to say because I am just in my little house, and I just wanted to talk to you.
What's going on with you? Why do you want to talk? What's happening?
Wow, what's happening to us all?
Right.
You know, there's no one to talk to, is there, really? It's all very, yeah, you know.
I'm getting sadness and loneliness from you. Would that be close?
Yeah, I think so. I am.
Are you locked up on your own?
No, I've got
husband,
16-year-old, who goes eat all my food the minute I go to bed. So I'm going over the co-op every night, hauling back the goods. It's in the fridge, and then I come down in the morning, and it's all gone.
And boy, oh boy, don't you notice it when you're not really supposed to go out of the house. We had a nice chat with my boys, not to scare them. It's very, very, you know, my boys are younger than yours, 8 and 10. But I said to them, look, because quite often, you know, my kids are spoiled. All our kids are spoiled in this country for the last 20, 30 years, in terms of food and stuff. You know, you open the fridge, there's stuff in there, and I say, and quite often I'll say to my boys, "Hey, do you want this?" And I'll make it, and then it will turn up. And they go, "I don't fancy it now." And I said, "Right, listen, we're not going to go hungry. We're not going to starve. What is happening is we have now got less choice than we had. Now, I'm never going to make you eat something you don't want. I'm not that kind of parent, but if I ask you, do you want a cheese sandwich? Don't just say yes as a reflex. Think about it, right? And if you want a cheese sandwich, I'm going to go and make you a cheese sandwich. But think about it. Don't go, yeah, and then when it turns up, go, no, I don't fancy it now. Just think about it. And the boys have been brilliant at just being a bit more careful. But then again, they're not 16 years old. And 16 years old, you're always hungry. I remember that. I was never satisfied. I could eat a whole loaf of bread, and I did once, as rounds of toast.
Yes. This is what this one's doing. And I'm like, I'm going to the co-op every other day, like a pilgrimage. And I come back and I think, good, it's in the fridge. Good, we've got enough food. And I come down the next day and it's all gone. So tonight... You
can't... Yes, tonight. What have you done tonight? Go on.
I've hid the bread.
Oh, yes, I like this.
I have locked the shed because my shed is where I keep the backup. Because I've got a fridge in the shed, my backup.
Oh, I like this. I like your style.
I have locked the shed. I have taken the key out of the bottom door. I have taken the key out of the kitchen door. There is nothing in the fridge apart from vegetables and fruit.
Oh, baby. And how do you think that's going to go down?
I don't care. He's had a nice tea. And by the way, can I just say one thing? He didn't get up till 4 o'clock.
He's still on his Easter holidays though, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, see, I am coming under a lot of criticism at the moment. Oh, you want to get him up, you want to do... Blah, blah, blah. I think that boy just needs to do whatever he wants to do at the moment. I'm not going to push him.
I mean, that's your choice. Is he up late at night, like playing video games and masturbating? That's what I was doing at 16.
Yeah, exactly. He is a real... On the PC, I don't even know how he talks to his friends on the PC. I thought it was Xbox, but it's not his PC, apparently. I don't even know how he's talking to all his friends. But all I hear is all this giggling, shouting, laughing, and I think, well, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, well, if you're happy with that, these are really, really unusual times. It's not as if there's a book, How to Parent Teenagers During a Global Pandemic and a Lockdown. We're all making up our own rules as we go along. There is no right, there is no wrong. I would suggest you talk to him about the food, although, like I said, I remember being 16, I was I was never satisfied because he's growing. You know, it's a physical thing. And also 16, you don't realise the value of money and all of that rubbish. But I would have a chat with him and say, look, I'm struggling. I'm finding this quite hard. Is there any way you could possibly help me? And maybe 4 o'clock is a bit too late. Maybe you could say, look, is there any chance of at least getting up for lunch and just maybe helping me like clean the kitchen or helping me clean the bathroom or, you know, just something.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know. But
can I ask you a question?
You may.
You might not like it.
Go on.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
None.
Really?
Yeah, none.
Okay.
Why? Why?
You sound a little bit relaxed.
Well,
I'm not making a judgment, by the way.
No, that's okay. No, seriously, none.
You had a little smoke? Is there anything?
No, I'm just...
Okay, fine.
In that mood.
Okay, fine. Good. All right, good.
You've only got 14 minutes left.
It's a little bit less than that. It's about 11 because we have to finish at 58:15. Oh, sweet bliss! And I'm climbing into my bed and listening to I Am Getting Down with Daryl Morris in my bed.
Do you carry on listening after you finished?
Yeah, I either listen to Daryl or I will listen to Jim Davis or Dotton on they're on 5 Live now. I like falling asleep to speech radio. I don't like listening to music radio, but I can't really fall asleep unless I've got someone talking in the background, which is a weird kind of
I'm the
little
same.
kink.
I'm the same, and that is really the reason why I really phoned you up in the first place. I am so transferred to talk radio now rather than music radio.
Oh, there's a dumb button, Sam. You watch this now. This Lara. This is why I that you dropped a little F-bomb there, and that's fine. That's fine. But this is why I'm going to ask you again, right? And you can be so honest with me because I don't care. I don't know who you are. But have you had a little drinky poos to help you get through it?
I had a glass of wine at tea.
There we go. There we go. All right. What? Okay. How big was the glass? This big. Okay. I honestly, I suspect it might be a little bit more. And again, I'm not making a judgment on you. You're going through a lockdown. You've got a 16-year-old kid, and you're worried and you're lonely, and you want 16-year-old kids are great fun. Okay, 16-year-old kids are great, but you want to talk to adults. You are very welcome. I'm going to go in a second because I want to speak to Matthew before Daryl comes on.
Yeah,
you are very welcome to call us anytime you want. And I know that Daryl is also, is taking phone calls and stuff after 1 o'clock. So you can call back again after 1 if you want, Lara. You're doing a great job as a mum.
And so are you as a dad.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that on board. You take care of yourself, Lara, and I look forward to our next chat.
Love you lots. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. 03444991000. Katherine, did you manage to get your breathalyzer out, or was it too slow?
I don't think I needed it, mate.
Bless her. No, bless her. It must be tough. It must be tough living. Imagine being locked in a house with a 16-year-old. Flipping heck. It's hard enough with 8 and 10 and 8 and 11. But they're still kids. 16-year-old is neither a kid nor an adult. It's that weird thing, and to a 16-year-old being grounded by the government for 2 months.
Imagine. I was going to say, imagine being the 16-year-old.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there. I'm sure Lara is doing a great job. I'm sure so many parents are doing great jobs, and there is no guide to this. There is. This is unique. You know, there's going to be some great books that come out afterwards telling you exactly what to do if you're ever forced to stay indoors for 2 months with kids. But those books, unfortunately, I've looked on Amazon. They don't exist, and there's no right, there's no wrong. It's a weird old time, and we're all doing our best. We're all doing our best. Let's go to Matthew. Good evening, Matthew.
Can I have a cheese sandwich, please, Ian?
Are you definitely going to eat it?
I'll think about it. I'll give it a few seconds.
Just think about it. And if you're going to eat it, listen, we've got food. We have got food, and I promise you we will not go hungry, but just the thought of me throwing food away at the moment doesn't sit comfortably with me. If you want that cheese sandwich, Matthew, you can have that cheese sandwich.
Have you got foie gras?
Got loads of foie gras. You know we've got foie gras. We've got foie gras in the back garden.
No, I'll have the cheese sandwich, please.
All right.
No butter, please. Just cheese and bread.
My kids are like that. How can they? Butter is like the water of is the fluid of the sandwich. How can you just have dry bread and cheese? That's horrible.
No, I was just playing a character there, Ian. I do apologise.
Oh, Matthew, bravo, sir, bravo. Well done.
I misinterpreted myself. I do actually take butter with my bread.
Well done, Matthew. You heard it here first, guys. Matthew takes butter. What? A whole what do they call butter? What does butter come in, Matthew? Katherine, is it bars? You get a bar of butter?
Tubs.
No, that's margarine. That's margarine. Tubs. No, Tubs. You're thinking of my Crockett and Tubs.
What's my wife ever done to you?
Thank you for your call, Matthew. 0344 499 1000. She's done plenty to me, and in fact, I still owe her the money.
Flipping it.
I didn't know where he was going.
No, I don't think he did either. It's all right.
I'm gonna get down and dirty with Daryl Murray. Yes, I'm gonna get so down and dirty with Daryl Murray. Yes, from 1 o'clock on Talk Radio. He's the man. He does the news on the show. He'll be talking about Corona. He'll be slagging off Trump. He's a left-wing snowflake, and I think he is a cock. Took the echo off there so you could hear me say cock. I'm gonna get down and dirty tonight with a Daryl Morris. I'm gonna fall asleep with the big man in my ear. It's quite a nice little song there, isn't it, about Daryl? You can have that if you want.
It's good, yeah. I think, once we get out of here, we get some instruments on that. We've got a hit on our hands.
Pete is being rude. He said it's a knob. Don't you dare call Daryl Morris. Oh, he's talking about butter. It's a knob of butter. A knob is like when you cut some off with a knife. That's a knob.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a pat.
It's a pat. It's a pat. It's a pat of butter. And what we're doing here is filling because we have no calls. So we've learned pat and filling. Have you got anything, Boyley?
Yeah, I've got Chat is Fate and all sorts, but let me have a look here. Oh, one of the first...
Well, hang on. We've only got 4 minutes. We are not chucking out Chat It's Fate as a 4-minute filler at the end of the show. We're doing Chat It's Fate tomorrow. We cannot just chuck that away now.
No. I've got something in the New York Post about one of the earliest known uses of the F word was found during a 16th century plague lockdown.
Okay. I am Ian. By the way, Matthew, who just called us, it has just tweeted us, proud to be the last and short caller to Ian Lee tonight. So if anyone wants to call in, we'll take calls straight to air for the last 3 minutes so that Matthew's not the last caller. But boy, oh boy, he looks like, have you seen the picture of him? He looks like a young Al Pacino. He looks like a young Al Pacino. Yes, he's a good-looking, smooth. Look at that head of hair. Look at that. That is a look he's gone for as well. I put a belt on. I don't like trousers without a belt. That makes me uncomfortable. But that is a look, isn't it? Young Al Pacino.
Yes.
You're not buying that? I'm thinking of dyeing my hair red.
Why?
I'm so bored. And I want to be able to wake up. I want to be able to wake up one day and go, oh, right, today, yes, what have I got to do? I'm dyeing my hair. Not like bright red, not like Aquaman's girlfriend red. When I was at college 25 years ago, me and my friend Simon dyed our hair cherry, which was rich red brown. So I would be up for doing something like that. No, one of those dyes that it lasts about 6 weeks and then it goes.
Was it a toner, like a Harmony toner?
I don't know. I haven't bought it yet. I'm so flipping bored that dyeing my hair.
Don't do that.
Just why? I'm right. Okay. Well, what you've said there is making me doing it. Is making me doing it, Katherine. You are making me doing it because you said don't do it.
Don't moan to me.
Hair.
Don't moan to me when you hate it.
It won't. It'll look wicked. Hair dye, Schwarzkopf, blackhead, permanent colour. Don't want permanent, do I?
No.
I want semi-permanent.
Stop.
What do I want?
No, you don't want
I'm doing
semi-permanent.
Hair colour.
Let me help you. No, stop.
Hang on.
Stop. We'll
Let
find
me try
you a
some of
wash
these.
in, wash
Line
out.
one.
Otherwise, this is going to go
Line
horribly
one.
wrong.
What colour do I want?
Pink or something, probably.
Okay. Do you speak into the phone for the last 40 seconds?
I am doing.
What do you want?
You wanted someone to interrupt Matthew to not be the last caller.
No, you can't.
Well, that's me. I'm the last caller. I win. Night.
No, you're not. You're not. Line 2 is. Hello, line 2.
Did you fall down a wishing well?
Thank you very much indeed. That's the last caller. That's how you do a show. Cut me off whenever you need to, Sam, because I'm getting down and dirty with Daryl Morris in the bedroom.
Talk Radio.